What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. So earlier today we got some breaking news that one of our three main leading characters from the Scream franchise is officially going to be appearing in Scream 5. That of course being none other than David Arquette himself, returning to once again reprise the role of Dewey Riley. Now, as I may mention in my previous video, the character of Dewey Riley, I could live without that character. If they decided they were going to kill that character off, that would be perfectly fine with me. But I'm going to get into some other things that we learned here today. So that's basically 1 out of 3 officially on board. Now we only need confirmation that Courteney Cox is going to be back, and Neve Campbell, of course. And I feel also what we also want to know is whether or not Roger L. Jackson will be reprising the voice of Ghostface, and if Hayden Panettiere will be back as Kirby. Courteney Cox, I don't know what the relationship is between her and David Arquette since they are divorced. I know in the midst of filming Scream 4, they were undergoing a divorce. And they had them in like separate rooms at one point during that production, to avoid conflict on set. Now I don't know if those two are willing to work together, or if David being on board might be an issue with Courteney coming back, but we'll see. And we'll actually even see if they even are a on-screen couple in Scream 5. I don't know what they're gonna do, but if Courteney Cox doesn't come back, I'm assuming this is possibly going to have to do with it, the fact that David Arquette was on board. But getting into some other things we found out today, we now officially know who is going to be writing Scream 5. It's not going to be written by Kevin Williamson 100%. Now, what we do know is that Kevin Williamson will be assisting these writers. It's going to be a group effort, an original story co-written by James Vanderbilt. Who many of you, I feel like you're familiar with him if you've seen The Amazing Spider-Man or movies like The Zodiac. And then Guy Busick. I believe Guy Busick, if I'm not mistaken, he did work on Ready or Not. And then I think also articles are saying he worked on a few episodes of Castle Rock. And Castle Rock, I think Castle Rock was one of Hulu's currently one of the streaming services better shows that they have to offer. And Kevin Williamson is basically going to be on board, of course, to executive produce, and he's going to be there guiding these writers to make sure they come up and hit this out of the park. When Kevin Williamson, basically in a press release today, a whole bunch of comments came out of the press release. I'm going to start off with what David Arquette had to say. He said that he's thrilled to be playing Dewey again and to reunite with my Scream family, old and new, already hinting at the fact that we're going to have some fresh faces along the way. Scream has been such a big part of my life, and for both fans and myself, I look forward to honoring Wes Craven's legacy. And again, David Arquette is the first person that we know is going to be on board who's a returning character. While he is like just the first person to actually be confirmed, we do know that conversations are being had for Neve Campbell to return as Sidney Prescott, the meat and bones of the Scream franchise. We haven't really heard too many things about Courteney Cox. I'm assuming she'll be announced at some point or another. And then they could be having talks with several other cast members, or legacy cast members, if you want to call them that. We could see a return from Joel. I know a lot of people want to see the character of Joel from Scream 2 come back. Maybe we get the two characters from Scream 2. I don't know why the sorority girls from Scream 2. I know a few people who want to see them back. I'm not too sure why. I can live without them. If you're going to bring back one character who hasn't been in the franchise for a long period of time, I'd bring back Randy's sister, Martha Meeks, and then just Joel, and call it a day. I just bring those two characters back. Well, I'm going to get into what the production company, of course, who's going to be bringing us Scream 5, Radio Silence, had to say about it. In a statement, Radio Silence today, it said, "It's impossible to fully express how much Wes Craven's work and the Scream movies in particular mean to us as fans and have influenced us as storytellers. Kevin Williamson's incredible stories have entertained and inspired us for decades, and we're insanely honored to have the opportunity to be a part of the cinematic world Wes and Kevin so brilliantly created together. Jamie and Guy's amazing script does that legacy justice, and we're so excited to bring the next chapter of Scream to life." Now, what has me excited is how everyone is already gassing up this script, and he's not the only one. So he is not the only one by any means gassing up this script. The people speaking on behalf of Radio Silence, Kevin Williamson himself has actually had some comments to be made about this whole project. He said that, "I'm excited to reteam with David and work with Jamie, Guy, and Radio Silence on the next Scream. Their take on the movie is both original, inventive, and honors Wes's legacy in a wonderful way." He even praises Ready or Not. He says that Kevin Williamson said that Ready or Not was his favorite horror film of last year, and he can't wait to see what their amazing talents bring to the Scream universe. "I'm thrilled to be a part of it." Just the fact that we get to sit, and then here's what one of the writers had to say, one of the co-writers for the new script. He said, "Just the fact that we get to sit in a room with Kevin Williamson and talk about a new Scream movie is a dream come true for me. For years, I've wanted to see a new Scream movie, and now we get to help make one. We want this to be a love letter to the movies Wes and Kevin created together and to the fans," said Vanderbilt. Now, what's interesting here to me about this is the fact that this collaboration is going to bring together Radio Silence with Chirac. What's interesting to me about this is how this whole collaboration is bringing together Radio Silence, who we know brought us Ready or Not, is bringing together Kevin Williamson, who we know is responsible for writing and coming up with the idea of the original Scream, Scream 2, Scream 4. He had ideas for Scream 3 that he never got to make, unfortunately. And now he's being involved with Scream 5 as an executive producer. He's not going to be officially one of the writers, from what I gathered here, but he's going to be hands-on with these guys to make sure that the material that they have is put to use in the most effective way possible. And if Kevin Williamson, the creator of Scream, because I know everyone likes to praise Wes Craven. Wes Craven is the director, but remember, Kevin Williamson is the one who came up with the idea. He's the one who formulated this whole Scream universe that we now have. He's the reason we are here today and we're getting another Scream film. If it wasn't for his inventive idea back in the mid-90s when the horror genre was struggling, we wouldn't have certain things that we have today coming from this series. We probably wouldn't be sitting here talking about something like this today. The simple fact that this project is bringing Radio Silence, who we know did a wonderful job with, who's behind the amazing horror film of last year, Ready or Not, and bringing in Kevin Williamson. Now we have David Arquette. We could be potentially getting, of course, Neve Campbell back, Courtney Cox, possibly even more old cast members, Skeet Ulrich, maybe even Matthew Lillard, maybe some other characters we haven't seen in the past, to just make this a film that is a love letter and something that honors Wes's legacy. I can't wait to see what comes out of this. And I think this officially also confirms that Scream 5 is going to be a sequel. This is going to be a sequel. Maybe not a direct sequel. We still don't have confirmation on that just yet. But once we have more plot details and everything, of course, we'll know for certain. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with this project and where it goes and what other casting announcements we'll get in the future. And then speaking to something else, filming, they're expecting to begin filming later this fall. That's when production is looking to gear up. I know production was supposed to start this month, but with everything going on in our country, unfortunately, and all around the world, production has been halted. They're looking to start filming in Wilmington, North Carolina later this year in the fall. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's also where Halloween Kills was shot. So I don't know what the schedule is for Halloween Ends. And if those two films are going to be filming in the same city, I think North Carolina is going to be a pretty packed city in the fall. I don't know what the shooting schedule is going to be for Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends now, if I'm a betting man, I'm willing to bet that it might be getting shot in early 2021, just in time to make its release later that year. But Scream 5, yeah, is set to start filming later this year in Wilmington, North Carolina, when they have the protocols and everything up to par to know how to move forward with the industry in response to what's going on in the country and this outbreak. But let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. Are you excited about David Arquette being back? What do you think about all these comments that Kevin Williamson has made, praising the story that's been written for Scream 5, praising and the other two people who the co-writers even praising the fact that they are fans of the series. And just, I'm really excited because it seems everybody involved, when you have news like this where everybody is just praising what came before and they're excited to do this, it just makes me even more excited. I'm excited for Scream 5. Let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. What do you want to see from the movie? If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. In the description, I'm going to have links to all my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course, to let me know if there's any movies, news, or reviews you would like me to cover in the future. And then, of course, down in the comment section, I'm going to have a link to the Facebook group. Go ahead and join that to stay up to date on anything horror related. With all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.